I watched Morant yesterday against Marquette, and I must say that I was very impressed. This guy's athleticism is off the charts. His decision making was also just off the charts. Um, and because he is so athletic, um, he's also a very, very solid rebounder for his size. Um, if I'm being honest, um, he did have some flaws in his game. He did have 7 turnovers, which against the better teams, even though Marquette is a solid team, but against the better teams, you can't have 7 turnovers. But he did have 16 assists, 11 rebounds. He only had 5 free throws. He made all 5 of them. He was very efficient from the field, shot 5 for 9, and went 2 for 2 on 3 pointers. Um, to me, this guy reminds me a lot of Russell Westbrook, but he reminds me of a Russell Westbrook who's much more poised and who makes better decisions um, in bigger moments. I can see him being a better decision maker than Russell Westbrook against the elite teams and in bigger moments once he starts to mature and come into his own in the NBA. Now, when I say that, I don't say that to say that Westbrook is trash. I believe Russell Westbrook is a great player, but I believe anyone who watches basketball can agree that Russell Westbrook against the better teams or in the bigger moments, he tends to let his emotions get the best of him, and he wants to play a game of I'm going to show you that I'm not scared. I'm gonna do me instead of I'm going to show you I can beat you, but still get my team involved, which will make it easier for me to get the victory. Because it's easier to beat um, a great player, but it's hard to beat a great team. And Russell Westbrook has not yet shown the ability to bring his team to the next level. He's shown the ability to bring himself to the next level as far as winning MVPs and taking a pretty sad team to the playoffs by himself when he had the MVP season and when he had the triple double. But he hasn't necessarily taken his team to the next level, if that makes sense to you guys. But for his career, Russell Westbrook is a 43% field goal shooter, shooting 43% from the field, and he's shooting 30% from three. He's averaging 8 assists for his career, 10 assists this season, 7 rebounds for his career, 11 rebounds for this season, and he's averaging 4.7 turnovers this season. If Morant can come into the NBA once he has some seasoning, if he can still be what Westbrook is as far as the field goal shooting, if he hovers around that 45-43% range, that'll be great. If he can be a better shooter than Westbrook, if he can hover from that 35 to 38% range, Westbrook's a pretty good free throw shooter for his career. He's shooting 80% from the field, from the free throw line. I'm sorry, but this year he's shooting 65%. Might just be a bad year for him. Westbrook is averaging 10 assists and 11 rebounds this season. If Morant could just be around 8 to 10 assists and let's say 4 to 5, maybe 4 to 6 rebounds, and still average about 20 to 25 points per game, I can see this guy definitely being one of the future top point guards in the league because he already has the athleticism and it seems he has the IQ as well. Looking at Morant's stats for this year, he's shooting 50% from the field on 15 shots. He's shooting 34% from 3 on 4.7 shots. He's averaging 5.7 rebounds, 10.2 assists, and averaging 24.4 points per game. This guy, he's unbelievable. And I believe him and Zion are battling it out for the number one pick in the NBA draft. Um, to me, Ja Morant reminds me of Russell Westbrook, like I said, but he's a little bit more cerebral. He has better decision making, like I said, so he kind of has a mix of Chris Paul in him, in my opinion, to where he's not just going to be the guy who's going to, you know, give you the ball in a situation to where you have to create your own shot. He's going to give you the ball in a situation to where all you have to do is shoot it or just lay it up, because he already collapsed the defense and he already beat his man to where he had to draw another defender, was left his teammate open. Not saying Westbrook doesn't do that. It's just that in the big games, in the games against the Warriors or the Rockets, or in the playoffs, or in the finals or the conference finals when he was with Durant, he tends to, not trust the process. If things aren't going as good as they should, he tends to want to take over the game, and he's not always the most efficient player when he wants to take over games. But someone like Ja Morant, I know it's still early. He's not even a rookie yet. He's still in college. But if he can hone his skills and take away some of the things from Westbrook as far as athleticism and being relentless at getting to the rim, but also take parts of Chris Paul's game as far as being a good facilitator, orchestrating the offense, and keeping your team involved and winning the game as a team, and not getting so you want your player to be invested into the game, but you don't want him to let his emotions get the best of him to where it messes up his decision making. If Ja Morant could stay on the other side of the decision making as far as just being elite and not getting overwhelmed or not getting mad and letting people get into his head to where he's hurting his team. If he can be on the better side of that, I see him being one of the elite guards in the NBA in a few years, and definitely being an option for some teams to be the number one pick in this upcoming NBA draft.